Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Before I started talking, I just finished watching the episode, and I'm gonna be honest. There is a glaring problem in the last couple episodes. Okay, there's a glaring problem in the last couple episodes, and I don't know if this is a holiday thing or a something thing, but it seems like there's been a lot of scenes lately. A lot of party scenes, a lot of, gathering scenes, where because of that, it's been little going on. You had yesterday's episode, Trina and her friends and everything like that gathering at, Curtis's new club. I think there was an episode before that when they was like doing a whole gathering thing, but I've noticed that the past couple episodes, like today's episode, you had the whole Chase, Willow, and just throwing everyone out. And I mean, literally, they had Sasha in there, and I was like, all right, cool. So what did she exactly do? Oh, she was just there. She was just there, just hanging out, just okay, cool. So she didn't really say that much, and she just collected a check. Okay, cool. You watch that scene, and you just had a bunch of people in the room. Actually, tell you too fast to sit there, and I know I'm gonna probably miss somebody. So at Ava's bar now, because apparently it's Ava's bar. You had Anna, you had Dante, you had Sam, you had Michael, you had Sasha, Chase, Willow, Jordan, Anna. You had them all there. And it just was so damn confusing. I'm just writing names at this point. I didn't even sit there and write what happened, just writing names. And so you get into this scene, and not that much happens. I mean, you have Michael and you have Willow that's like glaring at each other while Chase walks in, and Jordan makes Willow and Chase a new shirt, and they're talking about the marriage and everything like that. And of course, you can see the look, the pain on Michael's face. You can see the guilt on Willow's face. You can see Chase that's just completely oblivious to everything that's going on with those two. Dante's there. Again, not really that much actually happens. Except for the whole time, while Chase is with Willow, Willow is feeling guilty, and Michael's not there giving glares across the room. Now, one of the interesting things that did happen was when Michael was there talking to Willow, Michael was like, hey, just that it's really crazy, you got, you have my mom, and you have Jason, that they're getting married. Now, Sam and Liz are, like, across the bar or whatever, in that area. And Sam overhears it. Sam looks like she's about to lose her damn lunch. And I'm gonna be honest, this sounds so bad. This sounds so bad. But watching the look on her face, I was like, yo, Sam, you alright? You good? You're looking a little mad. You're not mad, right? You're not upset. I mean, you was the girl that just dumped him 5 minutes before he was going out on a mission, blindsiding the hell out of him by saying, well, if you leave, then don't bother coming back. You look like you're a little upset. You want something to drink? You want some water? What you need? What you need? You need a friend? What you need? So she starts to, speed walks out there, out the bar, and Liz is there right behind. And of course, Liz is there talking to Finn, and you have all this interaction going on. You have Chase there talking to Finn when Liz is there, and Chase is like, yo, I see what's up with you two, yeah, thing or whatever. And Finn's like, no, she is Violet's aunt, and we're good friends, and she helped me out, and Franco hasn't really been dead that long. And, I'm still getting over the whole thing with Anna, so it's nothing's going on. We all know something's going on. And for a lot of people, it's going on too fast. I look at it this way. You get 90%, 10%. 90% of the fans are looking at this like, yo, what are you doing? This guy is literally not dead that long ago, and you're reason that they're trying to make them a thing. And of course, Finn, isn't exactly over Anna and the whole blow up with that, but screw it. Let's just hook them up together. So you got 90% of the fans is just like, no, like, what are you doing? You have 10% that's like, they want that to happen. Sometimes I feel like when it's divided like that, I'm just like, do y'all really want that to happen? Or y'all just trolling online? Like, what is it? Because it's like the people that were sent there trying to defend Nell against Carly, making Carly to seem like they're the bad, like she's the bad girl. She's the villain, and Nell is the hero. Like, people that like that feel like they're just trolling, but whatever. Anyway, you got Liz that's just running after Sam, making sure she's okay. They get to the pier, and she brings some drinks. She brings some tequila and some shots or whatever. She brings some alcohol to the party, and so she talks to Sam. It's like, whenever you're sitting there trying to break up with an ex, me and Terry used to do this thing, and they start burning clothes. I mean, she burnt her jacket. Like she was burning the dominoes and some other stuff. And then she had the jacket, and Liz was like, burn it. I'm like, no. It's okay to actually keep some stuff of Jason's. I mean, what are you gonna burn the kids next? Like, what are you doing? Like, I get it. I get the idea. I get, the whole symbolism and everything like that. And I'm like, I feel like that's just kind of placebo effect. I mean, you could have kept the damn jacket. Damn. But whatever, I guess it's supposed to be a new Sam, so whatever. So they start burning stuff, and at some point, the fire's not getting hot enough or whatever, so she decides to take the tequila and throw it into the damn, like, the little bonfire. I'm like, yo, you are lucky that whole, like canister, whatever, didn't just blow up. Because when I saw her do that, I was like, yo, is this chick serious? She's serious? And she threw it in there and it just start flaming up or whatever. And of course the fire department gets in there, and after you got Dante and you got Finn that they're checking, finding like, yo, where are they? And they get there and they see the fire people, the firefighters there or whatever, and they're just both looking at them like, yo, what are y'all doing? And Sam's like, no, I'm celebrating my independence. You gotta be kidding me, right? Are you Alright, yeah. Alright, Sam, you're celebrating your independence. There's just so much wrong with that whole scene. You getting upset about a man that you broke up with, like, you blindside him like 5 minutes, and you just like, I'm celebrating my independence. Alright. Maxie. I feel like at this point, I don't know what other jokes to sit there and say about this woman. I really don't. I feel like I'm almost at E at this point. I mean, it's so bad that even Monica walks in and talks to Brooklyn. It's like, and by the way, is it my imagination that does Brooklyn look a little I know this is bad, and I really don't want to say this, but I feel like I kind of have to. Is it my imagination, or does Brooklyn look a little pregnant? I know somebody said something about Sam, but I didn't see it. But with Brooklyn, I've been seeing it for a while, and I've been ignoring it because, well, I don't really know why, but it can't just be me. Anyway, it's gotten so bad that Monica's like, yo, listen, Maxie being here all the time, spending time with Bailey, it's not good for her. Like, I don't know what's going on with her, but it's not good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Guess who walks in the goddamn room? Maxie. She walks in there like, oh, it's 4th of July, and let's see what's going on, what's the baby and everything like that. I'm like, Maxie, are you even trying anymore? What are you doing? And she walks over and she starts looking at the baby. You got Monica like, you want to handle this? Like, what's good? So she's, looking at the baby, and Monica's like, I'm just gonna leave the room. Brooklyn, why don't you take care of that? And Brooklyn's like, yo, have you lost it? This was your plan. It's like she's saying everything that the audience isn't there thinking, and I'm just like, yo, are y'all just making fun of us or something? Like, what is this? Are y'all trolling us? Like, what are you doing? But yeah, she pretty much berates her. It's like, yo, are you serious? Like, Peter is not stupid. He could be following you at any point in time. Going over someone's house who, you don't really get along with, who just had a baby at the same day and the same time as you. Nah, there's nothing suspicious about that. And of course, Maxie's like, oh, she gives her whole speech about my flesh and blood, and I know logically, but I just can't do it, and yada yada yada. It's just gonna be for today. I'm just like, yo, this shit. I don't have any words. As I'm sitting there talking about this whole Maxie thing, as I was sitting there thinking about talking about this Maxie thing, I was like, I'm gonna sit there and tell a bunch of jokes, just try to be funny, and then I realized that I could just sit there and be serious, and it's the exact same damn thing. It's just one big giant joke. Like, I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, even Brooklyn's just like, yo, I got nothing. And she gets ready to try to attend Chase's party, which is still probably going on. And she's like, I'm going to give you like 5 more minutes. And of course, Max is sitting there holding the baby and talking to the baby. Meanwhile, you got Monica come back in there like, so I see this whole craziness is still going on, right? We just still doing this? I guess Brooklyn really didn't. Okay, alright, cool. It's funny too because Brooklyn's like, yo, listen, I set up this whole thing at ELQ, this whole thing, so you can sit there and spend time with your child, and you're still over here, like, alright, I had a plan, screw that. Brooklyn had a plan, screw that. I'm just gonna do whatever I want because I got nothing. I really don't. I don't have anything to say. I don't. Alright, so let's just move on for that because the longer I think about that, the more I'm going to want to sit there and think about just going to go get wine, even if I have to get in the damn rain. At the damn rain, I can't even talk anymore. I'm so trying not to curse. Alright, what we got next? We got Jason and Carly sitting there telling Jocelyn about their marriage, and she's all like, oh, I really want you to sit there and support us. And he's like, yeah, that's great, welcome to the family. Da 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 da. I'm like, Jocelyn, sweetheart, okay, you don't find this just a little bit just out the blue? Like this makes sense to you? I mean, she is genuinely happy. And I'm just like, so let me get this straight. Your stepdad dies not that long ago. And she decides to marry his best friend. And this is your reaction? Your reaction is, yeah, cool, yeah, I'm so happy. Listen, I get it. It's a soap opera, and a lot of times you gotta let a lot of leeway go. I mean, they age people, just all sorts of messed upness. They have acting on the show sometimes where it's like, for me, I look at the acting, either it's really good or it's soap opera level. Meaning that it's not terrible, but it's not great. It's just that line. It's just barely passable. There's a lot of allowances you got to give a soap opera, but even within that, I'm just like, this is really a reaction. And she goes up to Cam and she's like, yeah, Jason is marrying Carly, I'm so happy, and yada yada yada, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, and he smiles because at this point he already screwed up, so it's like, whatever. Now this whole whatever that they're getting into, I don't really understand. Because Cam's like, alright, so yeah, that's all cool and good, but we gonna talk about that kiss? Like, we just gonna pretend that didn't happen? And Joss was talking to her mother like, oh, relationship could be so complicated and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. No, it's not. But you know what? She's a teen, so at this point, I gotta try to give her a little bit of leeway, even though I'm just like, alright, like, really? But yeah, she's like, yeah, well, there's nothing really to talk about. I mean, we know what really happened, we cleared everything up, so, everything is everything. No, it's not. Like, what is wrong with you, Jocelyn? They're in this, I don't want to sit there and say limbo, but it's at this point where it's like, you're watching this, you're seeing how it's playing out, and, with soap operas, they're going to try to expand this Jocelyn and Cameron thing into, hopefully they throw in another woman, because that would be nice. I mean, listen, I've never really been about the whole, like, Jocelyn, Cam, Trina, Spencer now, whatever. It's not really been my thing. I always look at it as like, oh, it's just kind of very Disney-like. Like, even back then with the whole Dylan and Georgie and Maxie, I was just like, when I started watching it, I used to always fast forward past those specific parts because I was just like, I don't really care. Like, why do I care about the teeny bopper storyline? Like, I got Degrassi for that. I'm good. I don't need, like, what is this? But I feel like this thing is just not going to get resolved until, like, Cam starts to look somewhere else. And then Jocelyn's like, oh, well, I like him. I don't like him. But I don't want him to be with somebody else. So now it's like the nudge that she needs. I don't know what's going on with that. Meanwhile, you got Trina and Spencer being Vincent because that makes sense. They're talking to her and everything like that. And, Trina's like, listen, I'm about to go and hang out with my friends. You want to come with me? At first, Spencer's like, so you want to kind of just sunbathe with me, like in a nude? I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? I mean, listen, that stuff may, like, work in, like, other places, and other people may be okay with that, because, he travels abroad and stuff like that. I'm like, out here, I mean, really, bro? Really? That's, okay. But, she's like, why don't you come and hang out with me and my friends, and, he's like, oh, well, I will. I just have to go and get some stuff. And he doesn't show up. And, Trina decides to go home. And, Cam's like, yo, I don't know who this new dude is, but he's playing games. Like, So now she's on the phone. And Spencer's just kind of like standing there looking at her, stalking her or whatever. I don't. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I mean, this part of it is dumb. The Spencer coming in, wreaking havoc, that stuff is fun. That stuff is entertaining. I feel like that's pretty much about it. Let me just double check something. No, that's not it. Towards the end of the episode, Carly and Jason, after they do their whole ring and proposal and everything else, because at this point I was like, dude, I just don't care. I understand why they're doing what they're doing. Like, logically, I understand it. I mean, there's other avenues that they probably could have took, but whatever. So I understand that from a logical standpoint, but just from an emotional standpoint, I'm just like, I don't care. This is dumb. And I've already, like, talked ad nauseum about the reasons why, so I'm just not going to really go there. But anyway, they get a call, and apparently one of the Novaks guys is just kind of hanging out at the hotel, just, sipping drinks and stuff and just kind of chilling like things are cool. So, Carly and Jason go down there, and, they talk to someone, and, they announce that they're engaged, and yada, 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 they're going to be getting married and stuff. Meanwhile, the minute, Britt and Jax come out that elevator, they see Jason and Carly. Man. Britt, when she's mad and when she's angry and she stares at you, damn, that's just like, it's like a dagger right there. It's like, that it's just like, it's like the chick has heat vision. I mean, she just literally stares right into almost into your damn soul. Like, she just has that ice stare down packed. Now it's just going to be this whole thing going on. You see it in the next previews or whatever. And honestly, tell you the truth, for the most part, Jax and Britt just kind of exchanged stories. Well, pretty much Britt talked about how she burnt a doll, Patrick's daughter's doll, and like she threw it into the barbecue and it like bursted up into flames, and just telling stories, kind of just talking and chilling and stuff like that. I mean, they seem like they're hitting it off, and I know a lot of people just like, they don't really like them together. A lot of people don't like Jax, and it's funny because I was sitting there thinking about Jax, just the backlash that he's been getting, and I remember, just to kind of, add some fuel to the fire, is way back, where quote-unquote Mr. Craig, a.k.a. Jerry Jax, a.k.a. my favorite character, one of my favorite characters, Michael Michelson. You understand what I'm talking about when I say Michael Michelson, you get it. But yeah, I remember way back when Jax was sitting there defending his brother to an extent. He was like, yeah, I understand what he did was wrong, but, he only shot Robin to sit there and keep the other hostages in line. He knew, he was an expert shot. He knew exactly where to sit there and hit her this way when it caused her to bleed out. I remember, I was sitting there thinking about that at work today. I was like, I remember that time that Jax defended his brother, shooting Robin, sitting there saying that he was only doing it to keep the other hostages in line. Like the other 8 other people behind there, behind him, wasn't doing an adequate job. But no. He just had to get his point across. Okay. Alright, Jax. Yeah, I just want to go down a little memory lane with Jerry Jax, because to this day, he is still my favorite, along with Elena Cassadine and, all that good stuff. Yeah, for the most part, they just kind of spent the day in the bed, didn't really do much of anything. I mean, at the end, their conversation I thought was pretty interesting, and how they got along was pretty interesting. I'm not going to say cute, I don't really do the whole shipping people, but I thought it was their personalities, where they bounced off of each other. I thought that was pretty interesting. And let's be honest, I mean, Jax don't really have a lot of options. He really doesn't. I mean, unless he's going to go back to, who the hell can he go back to? Sam? Because that worked out so well. I guess he can go back to Liz, but that didn't really work out either. And Carly is just not an option anymore. I don't really think he actually has a lot of options. I really don't. Oh, and Jordan talked to Anna about something. Not gonna lie, I don't really remember. It really wasn't that important. But Anna and Valentine finally kissed, and it's funny too, because they were hanging outside. They were at the Quartermaines, and they had the little sparkles and stuff like that. And she must have burnt her hand on one of the sparkles. Yeah, never really exactly was a fan of holding those things. But, she burnt her hand on one of the sparkles, and of course he kissed it to make it better or something, like she was 5. Other than that, it was a start to a damn porn scene. But, he kissed her hand or whatever, and then, he's pulling her closer, and, he's going in to kiss her, and it, for a good second, it almost looked like Anna was like, I don't know if it's such a good idea, I mean, we're just friends, we're cool, I'm still kind of getting over Finn. It looked like for a good second she was kind of pulling away, but then she just kind of just, she just kissed him, and that pretty much just happened. So, for all the fans of Valentine and Anna hooking up and kissing, this was your episode. So, yeah. Kissed her damn hand like she had a boo-boo. What? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like there was more to this episode, but I don't know. Like I said, these last couple of episodes has just been a little bit somewhat discombobulating, especially the fact that Sasha was there. It's like, alright, cool, you're there, you're Chase's friend, but you didn't really do anything, but okay, cool, I guess you're just gonna hang out to get paid, but whatever. I know that she was there as a supporting character and, contracts and everything like that, but it's one of those things where it's like, you didn't really do anything. You were just kind of just there, like, I really feel like a lot of these, the last couple episodes have been so discombobulating and just so, like, whatever, because not that much has been going on, and hopefully they can stop these party scenes to kind of get back to the story, because, you know, that's what we're here for. Yeah. And tomorrow it's Sonny's going to be there, and I was like, oh, I almost kind of forgot about him, which is odd, because he's like one of my favorite characters, but, you know, whatever. Also, I'm just going to kind of repeat the story a little bit, somewhat, because I felt like I didn't really say it, or it didn't, I don't think that people really heard me, because I said it kind of fast. Long story short, going out to swimming for a while, and yesterday, I told her that I have a OnlyFans, and she was cool about it, and I don't like lying and keeping secrets, so, yeah. I know, I kind of said this, you know, yesterday, and I was pretty sure a lot of people heard me, but when I replayed it back, I was like, I couldn't hear what I was saying. I was like, OnlyFans, just to kind of, you know. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's pretty much about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.